Kira, a really disappointing result. What went wrong out there?
Yeah, I just think there was a lot of areas that we weren't good enough tonight, and I think Spain played incredibly well at home, and they made it very difficult for us. But I think when we look back, there's a lot of things that we could have done better.
Why do you think England weren't good enough? Do you think it comes down to match sharpness? The WSL finished a couple of weeks ago. The Spanish League only finished last weekend. Do you think that played a factor?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I think there's a lot of factors involved. I think, as I've just said, I don't think we were good enough tonight, and they were very, very sharp. So I think those two combined, made it a very difficult game for us.
How difficult was it also to just deal with the relentless pressure that Spain put you under, particularly in that midfield?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they've got bodies everywhere, and I feel like it was just very difficult for us to get out of our own box. And I think I don't have solutions right now. I think obviously we're going to look back and we're going to have a look back at the clips, but right now I think obviously the emotions are very high. It's a disappointing game, and
World Cup qualification is out of your hands, so I suppose you'll need Iceland to do you a favour on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I think we've still got a small chance to qualify in the next game. As you said, it's out of our hands. I think all we can do is go and try and win the game, the next game, and just hope that Iceland can, as you said, do us a favour. But we know it's out of our hands, but all we can do is control how we play the next game.
Thanks for speaking to us. Thank you.
A disappointed Kira Walsh, so too will the rest of the Lionesses be, because that is their heaviest defeat actually under Sarina Wiegman. We're not used to seeing them lose 4-0, are we, Karen? How do you reflect overall on what we've seen tonight?
A night to forget, Seema. I think it is, and I think after 2-0, I think there was a feeling that we weren't going to get back into the game. And look, sometimes I get quite angry with England when I know they can't perform to the levels. Tonight we were second best everything, and Kira Walsh can't explain it. They were high pressed at times and you don't know how to get out of it. It's difficult. Spain were really superior tonight, and we have to accept that and take that, swallow that pill and go into the playoffs probably and improve once we get there to the World Cup, which I do believe we will. But tonight, Spain were far superior in every area of the pitch.
How and why did Spain make it so difficult for us tonight?
Well, I think Spain came into this game with a lot of verve and ambition, as well as just the confidence. A number of those players having a good domestic season. They looked sharper. They were first and second balls, and they were just better in every department. And I think they suffocated England when they tried to build, and then England couldn't quite find the solutions. And there was lots of times where England probably should have played beyond and a bit longer to just fight for territory, get themselves back into the game, but just did not find the rhythm at all. And when you've got qualities in the likes of Guijarro, Pina, Lopez, and they're on, top, they're absolutely firing, then you've got to match them as well.
Yeah, they had so much quality, as we always know they do, but we talk about gears and levels, don't we, in sport quite a lot, and they upped it by a lot tonight. It felt like they were a different team to the one we saw at Wembley.
Yeah, I think they've evolved. I think when we saw the starting 11, I thought, the front three, they're technically gifted because they play for Spain, but they've got a natural pace and power, and they absolutely pressed us. And when, like Kira said, she mentioned it, and we've played Spain, myself and Nita, and when you feel there's like 4 or 5 players around you, they were on top of you, they swarm you and they make it difficult. And it's really hard to problem solve. And we could not do that tonight. And I hate to say it, sometimes in football matches, you're just desperate for the whistle to go because you don't know how to fix it. And tonight, England were out of problems, they couldn't solve it. And we just looked miles off it, and you've got to take it. We've done well against teams tonight, we haven't, and you've got to own that.
Well, the Lionesses won't have enjoyed that, as we've said, but Spain definitely did, and one particular player that would have enjoyed tonight was Alexia Putellas, because she scored in the first half and she scored in the second half as well, Anita.
Yeah, I think they just found their rhythm, especially in that midfield, their rotation. We didn't manage it very well. Badje comes inside and inverts, plays a slip ball, and really it's just a scrap, as the ball goes into the box. Putellas gets really nice control on the ball. You think then Lucy Bronze has saved it off the line, but she's just the first to react. She's alive and sharp, and she takes the strike on again, you see it, and then she's just the first to follow up. And England were just a bit slow and not proactive enough in those moments to just sniff that danger as well, know where players are in the box, and sort of stop them from being that clinical.
And if she is WSL bound, which we think she is, it seems very likely, we're in for a real treat, aren't we?
Yeah, and as I'm going to lie, I'm a Birmingham City fan, and I don't want our team to feature against her, that's for sure. So, yeah, we'll move on.
OK, talk to us about goal number 4. This was Pina. It was pretty special with Bonmati with the assist.
I mean, look, this is a squad depth that they have, the pure quality. You bring on Bonmati, the best player in the world, and you're like, cheers, pick this pass out, thank you very much. And then the touch, the quality from Pina. That last little final touch there where she takes it away from Lotte Wubben-Moy, and I think Lotte Wubben-Moy's done really well this season, but you just see the sharpness that she has. That little second touch there, bang, takes it away, but that's the pass. Like I said, it's a joke of a squad they've got, and that's why I said they've evolved. When you can sit the best player in the world on the bench and bring her on and go on, just stretch the game a little bit more, Bonmati, open them up. And that's the reaction you get from the England players. We didn't know how to fix it or solve it, and I think it's one for Serena and the team to go away and think and reflect on.
Yeah, and actually credit to Bonmati as well, because we talked about the fact that she broke her leg, didn't she, back in November. It's her first time back playing for her country, and you both know what it's like to have injury setbacks. It must be really scary actually coming back for that first game.
Yeah, she was back like she'd never been gone. And realistically, I think when your team has got the momentum and they're on top, and I said all the players, their body language, they just look like they were having a great time. It makes it much easier for players like that to come into the game and just get up to speed really quickly. She already has the quality and the class, but once you're on top like that, you know, she can unlock any pass, find players in those opportunities to score.
From England's perspective, they have to go again, of course, and they will be back and they will learn from this. But what do you think is the biggest learning experience from this game?
I don't think people were fit tonight. I think there's players on there that are still not 100%, a couple of injuries, and I think maybe Serena's got to go away and keep testing and trying new players in certain positions just to give people a respite. We've played a lot of football, a lot of tournament football over the last number of years, and I think it might be catching up on people. So give them the proper rest and play some other players maybe. But sometimes you have to, like I said, that's the best I've seen Spain play since they won the World Cup. I haven't seen them play to that level, and it's unfortunate it was against us tonight.
Do you think that our tactics were off tonight, or do you think it was just Spain just doing what Spain do? And as Karen alluded to, the fact that we just weren't there, we weren't at our clinical best.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of both. I think England were way below the levels that we know they're capable of playing at, but Spain definitely elevated their game. We didn't handle the pressurising game from them in their press. I do think that they have evolved again. They bring in, you know, the next generation. We talked about the likes of Vicky Lopez, Sarah Geordie. They've got all these players that can come in. I think we maybe have to start taking some different choices as well, and perhaps risk and try some of our younger players and give them opportunities to be tested against the best team in the world at the moment.
Serena, a really difficult night for England. What was missing, do you think?
Yes, indeed, a very difficult night. I think the difference tonight between Spain and England was big. I think we weren't at our best, although I thought we started well. But when they got into a rhythm and they got their first goal, I think we just didn't play to our strengths too much, and they played really well, and that showed this difference tonight. So that indeed is very disappointing.
Kira Walsh has just told me something similar, that England weren't good enough. Why do you think they weren't themselves tonight?
Yeah, of course, that's always the question after. I think it also has to do with a very good Spain tonight, and that's still, you know, it's never an excuse that you lose 4-0. But I think at moments we started well. We wanted to harm them in their back, and in the first half, especially after those couple of first minutes that we started well, we played short, we played back all the time, and that played them in their strengths a little bit, and we harmed ourselves because we lost the ball a couple of times more where they got chances, but we should have skipped players who wanted to get in the pockets or in behind them, and we just didn't get there. And when we get there, we found it really hard to keep the ball. So yeah, I think that has to do with us. It also has to do with the strength of Spain at this moment.
Do you think it's also down to maybe match sharpness? The WSL finished a couple of weeks ago. We had the World Sevens, but the Spanish League only finished at the weekend. Do you think that played a factor?
Yeah, well, I don't want to use that as an excuse. Today, the facts are that Spain was a lot better than we were.
This is England's heaviest defeat in 17 years. What was your main concern watching that, and what needs to improve?
Well, of course, it's really hard to see that, and of course I felt that too. Of course, what we need to do now is stick together, and we have one more game on Tuesday, and show what we can do. And yeah, this is tough. These are always the hardest moments. We haven't had these moments, well, as you say, but I haven't had these moments with England either. And yeah, we have to recover from this and then get really sharp for Tuesday and show that we're still a very good team.
World Cup qualification is out of your hands, so I suppose you're going to need a favour from Iceland on Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, let's first win our game ourselves and then see what they do. We just have to step up again and play a good game on Tuesday and win.
Thank you, Serena. Thank you.
And as the manager said just then, they just have to focus on themselves. But of course she was disappointed because, Karen, we're just not used to this, are we? We're not used to this level of defeat.
Well, she's not either. It's quite new for her and us as England fans watching. We're not used to seeing that. But I think she was right. She was pretty humble in what she said. We were second best. They were far superior. And she's going to have to go away and reflect on that. And I think sometimes we could try and keep talking about it, but sometimes you just got to hold your hand up, and they were way better than us tonight.
Yeah, and she summed it all up pretty well, didn't she? And she didn't use the fact that there potentially wasn't the match fitness, because she said, well, it was down to us and them, i.e. they were just really good as well tonight. They did what Spain can do to any team.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you play a Spain like that, you have to match them in terms of the level and winning and not allowing them to dominate possession, but also territory and first and second balls. And you know, she was spot on with her assessment, but the goal for England doesn't change. They still want to qualify for a World Cup qualification, so they can go ahead now and just improve upon that performance.
Yeah, well, let's take you back to the first half, because we didn't show you the first half goals just before the break. Let's have a look at this one. This was the opening goal. What did we make of it?
But even that, you know, we've got to be smarter on our set pieces. It's a throw in, do we fizz it in, do we fizz it into someone with bodies around, notice that how aggressive they are and pressing us, and then look, Spain win it back, and yes, there's a slight deflection, and obviously that makes it difficult for Hannah Hampton. I'm not a goalkeeping expert, and maybe she'll reflect upon that. Could she have done better? But look, it's disappointing, and that sharpness there, Spain just nicked it round us all tonight. And if every player is 1, 2, 3% off, when you play Spain, you're going to get punished, and we got destroyed tonight.
She would have enjoyed that as well, Patrick.